Greetings all, Elle Grinnell here with True Speak, bringing you all things happy and healthy vlog. Last week I spoke about imposter syndrome and I was asked to elaborate on it a little bit in terms of athletes, and especially athletes that have just received scholarships or athletes that have just gone under contract, because of the imposter syndrome that comes up with that now that they've signed on, that the truth is going to come out and they're going to know that blah blah blah, right? So we got the tools last week for dealing with that, and it applies for athletes as well, which is the breath and asking the important questions of that fake statement that the imposter is trying to convince you of, as well as getting a brag file, which is easy for athletes. Newspaper articles, trophies, awards, there's a plethora of stuff that you all have for your brag file. And so when you're reading that or looking at that or holding that, relive the best moments. I once worked as a spiritual counselor at a rehab facility that was for athletes, and one of them was in the NBA. And he actually thought that there was that he lost the championship, and that there was one specific thing that he did wrong that lost the team the championship. And so if you are an athlete, you know, in team sports especially, that there is not one event that makes or breaks. It's the final event. Yeah, it comes at the end, but it's not. There's a series of things. And I actually had this happen to myself personally way back in high school. And I still remember it like it was yesterday because of the traumatic effect that it had on me. I've been playing softball forever, and our team was in the playoffs. And then someone hit it out into the field, and the girls' fields are always for crap. They're better now, but they're always lumpy and dirty and muddy and everything. And so the ball took a funny bounce, like they always do in the outfield for women's softball back then, and I didn't get it. And so they scored the run. It was the bottom of the ninth, and home team, and they won. And so the team decided that I lost the championship for them. No one said anything about the pitcher that threw that most amazing ball that allowed them to launch it out into left field. Nobody said anything about the errors after errors after errors that occurred during the 9 innings of the game. And they're documented, those errors. So be careful when you attach one single event to your downfall. So when you're reviewing those things in the files and the trophies and the articles, relive those moments. Feel good. Allow yourself to be re-energized and vibrate with the truth of who you are as an amazing athlete. Okay, this will avoid injury. So this is the number one thing that happens when imposter syndrome shows up. It shows up as injury, because now you cannot do what you've signed on for. Okay, so if you have injury all of a sudden, or if you have chronic injury, you are suffering from athlete imposter syndrome and you need help ASAP. Physical therapy helps, yes. I'm talking about mental health, mental help. So let me know. Part of what I do. It lights me up. As an athlete's background, I want you all to get out there and just create these magical moments for yourself and others to remember in your sport. So just go back and look at the previous one for the tips, but in a nutshell, you need to work on your breathing before, during, or it would be helpful if you worked on your breathing before, during, and after all events, and that you question that BS, that imposter syndrome, when it comes into your mind. You tell it stop it, you tell it get lost, because you make the decisions. You're in charge. You are the talented person coming to the field or the pitch or whatever it might be. And then really drag out those old trophies, polish them up, think about the tournament and all of that, and reconnect with how talented you are. And get out there and forget that stupid coach that you said, boy, what's wrong with you? You're what's wrong by not being encouraging, right? We've had a lot of those bad coaching. So BCs, we want to put those BCs in the past, because at this point in life, we are our only coach. Be a benevolent one, because you are most deserving. So until next week, aloha, namaste, and pomokai from Elle.